Look, let me guess how this goes. You get a raise. Not a tiny one either, a real one. Maybe it's 5 grand, maybe 10. Maybe, if you're lucky, $20,000 a year. And for about, I don't know, 2 months, you feel rich. You breathe easier. You swipe your card without checking the balance. You upgrade a few things in your life because, hey, you earned it. And then, somehow, 6 months later, your bank account looks basically the same as it did before. Same stress, same "where did my money go" feeling, same quiet anxiety when you open your banking app. And you're sitting there thinking, um, I make more money now. Why doesn't it feel like it? If that scenario feels uncomfortably familiar, yeah, that's not an accident. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually works in real life, not how we wish it worked. If you're someone who earns decent money but still feels stuck, like every raise disappears, and you're not actually getting ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're going to talk about something that sounds wrong at first, but completely changes how you build financial security. Why $20,000 saved is more powerful than a $20,000 raise. And once you see this, you'll never think about income the same way again. Challenge the common assumption. Early. Here's the thing. Most people believe this one idea, almost automatically. If I just made more money, all my financial problems would go away. And look, that makes sense on the surface. Low income does make life harder. I'm not here to pretend otherwise. But once you're past basic survival, more income does not guarantee more peace, more freedom, or more control. In fact, this is what most people don't realize. Income feels powerful. Savings actually is powerful. And the difference between those two things explains why so many high earners feel broke, and why some people with average incomes sleep just fine at night. Eye-opening statistics, credible, realistic. Let's ground this in reality for a second. According to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money. Now here's the part that surprises people. A large portion of those households are not low income. They're middle class and upper middle class earners with decent salaries, but almost no liquidity. At the same time, research from Vanguard and Fidelity consistently shows that households with 3 to 6 months of expenses saved report dramatically lower financial stress, even when their incomes are lower than average. Why? Because cash changes behavior in ways income never does. Introduce the core idea. So let's talk about this idea directly. A $20,000 raise sounds amazing. And don't get me wrong, raises are good. I like raises. I want you to earn more. But a raise is taxed, is expected, gets absorbed into lifestyle, disappears slowly, invisibly savings. Savings is immediate leverage. And this is where it gets really interesting. Clear math example, simple real dollars. Let's say you get a $20,000 raise. After federal, state, payroll taxes, depending on where you live, you might keep, realistically, $12,000 to $14,000 of that. That's about $1,000 extra per month. Sounds great, right? But here's what actually happens for most people. Rent goes up. You upgrade your car. You eat out more. Subscriptions creep in. Lifestyle quietly expands. That $1,000 doesn't feel like $1,000 anymore. Now compare that to this. You save $20,000 in cash, not invested, not locked away, just accessible savings. That's 3 to 6 months of expenses for most people. Immediate emergency coverage, negotiation power, decision-making freedom. That money doesn't trickle in. It exists all at once. And psychologically, that matters more than you think. Psychology of money, why savings feels different. Here's what most people don't realize about the human brain. We adapt very quickly to higher income. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your new salary becomes normal shockingly fast. Savings, on the other hand, creates something income doesn't, security. And security changes your behavior. When you have $20,000 saved, you don't panic at small problems. You don't cling to bad jobs. You don't make fear-based decisions. You don't swipe your card to soothe stress. You stop operating from survival mode. And that shift, that's where real financial progress starts. Relatable analogy. Think of it like this. Income is like running on a treadmill. Savings is like standing on solid ground. You can run faster on the treadmill, but you're still one misstep away from falling. Solid ground lets you choose where to step next. Address objection number one. Now you might be thinking, okay, John, but if I had a $20,000 raise, I could save that money anyway. Sure, in theory. But here's the reality. Most people don't save raises. They spend them gradually without noticing. Studies show that 50 to 70% of raises are absorbed into lifestyle within the first year. That's not a discipline problem. That's human nature. Savings requires intentional friction. Raises remove friction. Address objection number two. Another objection I hear all the time. But saving $20,000 takes forever. Yeah, it does. And that's exactly why it's powerful. It forces you to control spending, delay gratification, build awareness, break impulse patterns. Those skills matter more than the number itself, because once you can save $20,000 once, you can do it again. Storytelling: two people, same income. Let me tell you about two hypothetical people, same age, same income, same city. Person A gets raises regularly, but saves nothing. Person B focuses obsessively on building cash reserves. Fast forward 5 years. Person A looks successful, but panics at setbacks. Person B has options. When layoffs happen, Person B can wait. Person A has to react. When opportunities appear, Person B can move. Person A hesitates. Same income. Completely different outcomes. The hidden power of liquidity. This is the part nobody talks about. Savings creates optionality. Optionality means saying no, waiting for better, taking calculated risks, avoiding desperation. And desperation is the most expensive emotion in personal finance. People overspend, overborrow, and underinvest when they're desperate. Savings buys you time. Time lets you think. Thinking saves money. Actionable steps, clear and practical. So how do you actually do this? Here's a simple framework. Step 1. Define the number, pick a clear target, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Vague goals don't work. Step 2. Automate pain, set automatic transfers right after payday, not whatever's left. Leftover money doesn't exist. Step 3. Separate the account. Savings should feel boring and slightly inconvenient, not on your main checking app. Step 4. Freeze lifestyle. Every raise goes to savings for 6 months. No upgrades, no exceptions. Step 5. Track progress. Visually watching the number grow reinforces the behavior. Motivation follows momentum, not the other way around. Build toward the bigger insight. Here's the final shift. Most people chase income because it feels impressive, but financial freedom is built quietly. Savings doesn't impress anyone. It just works. And once you have $20,000 saved, you stop asking, how much do I make? And start asking, how much control do I have? That's the real question. Look, this isn't about rejecting raises. It's about understanding leverage. Income feeds your lifestyle. Savings protects your future. And if this video helped you rethink how money actually works, hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share this with someone who's chasing raises but still feels stuck. I'll see you in the next one.